Let's talk about something that we have all struggled with at one point or another: spending money without feeling that nagging sense of guilt while still managing to keep our financial responsibilities in check. It sounds tricky, but trust me, it's entirely possible with a bit of planning and the right approach. We have all been there. You're considering a new hobby, planning a fun night out, or maybe even thinking about upgrading your home decor. The desire to treat yourself is real, but then comes the internal debate: shouldn't I be saving instead of spending? Well, guess what? You don't have to choose between savoring your hard earned money and being financially responsible. The key lies in finding a balance that lets you indulge in the little or big things that make you happy while also staying on top of your financial goals. Over our lifetime, there will be periods when we have to save more, be frugal, and limit our consumption with the goal of achieving something. And there will be periods when we should allow ourselves to appreciate what we have worked so hard for and accomplished. But the thing is that it can be tough to switch from saving mode to treating yourself mode without feeling like you're making a mistake. It's easy to think that you should be investing that money instead, and these thoughts can make it hard to relax and enjoy what you have earned. I am a big advocate for saving money, but I also believe that you need to enjoy the process. As adults, we will have to manage our money for the rest of our lives. So any financial plan we create needs to be sustainable and not feel like a burden. If you think about it, this applies to not just finances. Take diets, for example. Lots of people start strict diets only to quit halfway through because they can't handle cutting out the foods they love. If you restrict your spending too much and don't allow yourself to indulge in the things that make you happy, it's not sustainable. You will end up stressed and feeling like a failure. So first things first, you need to understand how much it costs to be you. This means getting a clear picture of your financial situation, understanding your spending behavior, and knowing what's important and what's not. Once you do this, you will notice that there are certain categories where you wish you could spend more without feeling guilty. We all have things that we want to buy without feeling judged. And if you're not sure what these things are for you, just ask yourself, what activities or things make you happy? What experiences or possessions do you cherish the most? What are the things that you can't live without? And with these answers in mind, and of course, respecting your budget because we want to be responsible adults, pick 2 or 3 categories where you won't let yourself feel guilty about spending. So, for example, if traveling brings you joy, but you're struggling to pay rent, it might not be the best time to splurge on non essentials. First, focus on getting your financial life organized and living within your means. And once you have established a solid financial foundation, you can start treating yourself to those special experiences without guilt. And just like there will be categories where you want a more flexible budget to enjoy life, there will also be areas where you won't mind cutting back. So, for example, I care about taking gym classes and getting my nails done, but I don't mind having to home prep my meals to save money. So, the secret to guilt-free spending while being financially responsible is to be frugal in these less important areas. So, all you need to do is identify them, and for that, you will have to track your spending for a month or 2 to become familiar with your habits. If you love going to the movies every weekend and indulging in pricey snacks, consider making your entertainment budget more flexible. But to compensate, you could cut back on those beauty box subscription services that you rarely use. Or suppose that skiing in the winter makes you happy, but it's expensive and exceeds your budget. And let's say that back home, you don't care much about what car you're driving. In that case, you can cut back on transportation costs and save up for your skiing trip. And over time, the money saved from driving a more economical car can fund your favorite winter sport. Another example is someone who loves going out to eat on fancy restaurants, but at the same time, they don't mind spending less on clothes. So by cutting back on fashion expenses, they can afford to dine at upscale restaurants occasionally. So the goal here is to create a financial plan that supports your well-being and allows you to enjoy the fruits of your labor without stress or guilt. This means being flexible and mindful in your approach. It's about being aware of your financial habits and making conscious choices. It's about being present and intentional with your money rather than spending impulsively. So, what I want you to do right now is to take some time to think about 2 or 3 areas in your life that you would like to spend more money and identify other areas where you can cut back. This way, you can treat yourself without any fear or guilt. And maybe this process can even help you realize that perhaps you don't lack the money to enjoy life. What you lack is a financial strategy that makes it possible. If you would like to support my channel, the best way to do this is by watching another video from me. This one has been selected especially for you by the YouTube algorithm. See you next time. Bye.